Hello friends, welcome to the very first episode of Retrospective Gamers or RPGamers. I'm one of the host members, Patrick. Thank you for joining us today and thank you for finding us and giving us a chance and trying out our podcast. So I wanted to record this little separate intro by myself because there's a lot of things I want to flesh out before we get started. First off, this is our first time officially doing anything like this. I'm not really good with technology. We've recorded a couple episodes ahead of time and we have a lot of content to give you, but it's going to take a lot of extra work. We finally have a good flow. We have an outline. We have a layer to go with everything to make everything sound and look good. So I just want to come here to say I apologize for the quality or lack of quality, I guess I should say, because the quality that is you're probably going to start seeing with these first few episodes are probably going to be rough, but we still have a great show to show you. We have a lot of great points and conversations to have. I'm still trying to mess with the audio and with the visuals and me clicking out of stuff. And so there's going to be in this particular episode images you'll see. You'll still be able to hear us, but you'll see images of the games we're talking about in this first episode. Hopefully moving forward, this doesn't become an issue. There are going to be a lot of moments where we talked about past episodes. Technically, this is going to be our first episode because the rest were just not usable, unfortunately. We're learning. Bear with us. Thank you so much. I'm in the process of editing it right now, actually. I just wanted to throw this in there to say thank you. Please bear with us. We got a lot of great things coming, and I hope you guys enjoy. Please like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. If you want to, if you enjoyed what you saw, recommend us. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you even getting this far because this is more of a passion project for us. I just want to put out there that this is more on my end because I'm the one who's going to be in charge of editing, recording, and making sure everything just runs correctly. And this is really still a new thing for me. Thank you so much for bearing with us again. Enjoy the show. Hello friends, welcome back to the podcast of RPGamers. We're very excited for today's episode. We're going to kind of deviate from our themes and what we've been doing. We're going to talk about the Game Award nominations. And we're going to go through, not each nomination, but mostly the ones we care about, really. I mean, any of the esports ones, I already passed all those, and I'm not big on esports enough to know really anything about it. So we're going to keep it simple. But first, my co-host Broderick, I have a question for you. What are you currently playing right now?
Alright, so, I'm gonna shout out just two games, just because one is sort of a follow-up from our last episode. And, so that one is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic on Switch. That was actually gifted to me by my co-host Patrick as a little anniversary gift. And, yeah, so I've already finished one playthrough. I did a light side soldier guardian, and like I said last episode, the Switch really is the best way to play it now. I had a lot of fun. There were a couple things that I noticed were a little bit different. I don't know if it was just because it was technically the mobile port of the game that was changed to Switch, but one thing that I noticed kind of halfway through, and this wasn't like, it didn't like kind of mess up the game for me, but in the original version, like when your character like opens like a security lock or something, they have like a little voice line where they're like, yeah, or like awesome or something like that. Those are completely gone from the game, and I mean, it probably says something where I didn't even notice until halfway through. But yeah, other than that, play Knights of the Old Republic on Switch. It's great. I love it. As soon as I finished my first playthrough, I was like, I'm going to take a break for a few days, kind of go back to my other things before I start my next one. Yeah, that lasted about 12 hours.
Huh?
And then the second game that I've been kind of messing around with is Splitgate. And that one, it's a arena-based, like, portal shooter, kind of. Like, I've just been kind of hearing a lot about it, and a lot of people have been saying that it's just, like, a fun game to play, so I decided to give it a try, and yeah, I mean, it's really fun. I love it so far. It's kind of just like a fun little, if I just want to chill and not really take anything serious, I just go and play that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, other than that, that's about all I've been playing. What have you been playing?
So, I just finished Guardians of the Galaxy, the game. It's been awesome. It definitely So I wasn't too big on it when it first got revealed. I was like, this looks like it'll be fun, but I'm gonna wait till the price drops. It's Black Friday. 100% get it now. This is at Black Friday for this deal. Get it. I got the deluxe edition. It comes with the art book and the steel book and everything. Definitely was worth waiting for, because I think I got that for $40 on Amazon. So it's worth getting now, I would say. It is I mean, even before, I wouldn't have been mad if I got it before, but I'm gonna try, because Broderick here hasn't played it yet, so I'm gonna try and not talk too much about it. I have 3 trophies left, but that's been fun. I got some other games on the indie PlayStation digital sale. A game that I was playing recently was called Guards. It's a lot like Has Been Heroes, but just significantly better. And it's been a lot of fun. It's kind of like a cooldown game for me in between when I'm playing my big titles. I'm hoping to get to Deathloop, which I have right here. I got that for Black Friday as well. So that's what I've been playing. It's been a lot of fun. So Brod, before we continue, I have a surprise for you.
Okay.
So I was waiting, because you're scaring me. So I was waiting to, and you'll see why when I say you're scaring me. So I was waiting to show you this for Friendsmas when we do our Christmas Friendsmas thing. So I don't know why I'm shaking. I really shouldn't be. Text it to you. I was trying to be cool and showing it on the screen, but unfortunately for this, I'm gonna make you wait.
Yeah, of course.
You have to wait for this, because I don't even know when it's coming in. They didn't say. So this is gonna be for your birthday.
Quite a wait.
It is, yeah.
You motherfucker. Oh, that's hella cool. Thanks, dude.
Show the fine people.
Yeah, so I'll see if we can do this.
Perfect, yeah.
Up the limited run of the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Master Edition. This one I was kind of mad about it, because when they first announced, when Aspyr first announced that they were doing Knights of the Old Republic on Switch, they were like, "Oh, we're not gonna do a physical port or anything. It's just gonna be all digital." And then maybe, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks later, they were all of a sudden like, "Hey, our friends at Limited Run are doing it," and I'm just like,
yeah,
I just bought it, you assholes.
Yeah.
But, well, there we go. So yeah, thanks.
So now you're gonna get it. It's like the Master Edition comes with a bunch of extra stuff. The other one is still cool and it's nice. It comes with still a lot of stuff, but this one comes with it comes with the strategy guide. It comes with, which is the biggest thing, honestly.
It is, yeah.
And then the little mini hilts. It'll be the size of this pocket knife, pretty much, or this multi-tool. So.
Oh, you got the. Okay, I got mixed up on which one this was.
No, I got the Mega Edition.
How well it's gonna show, but.
No, it shows perfect. It comes with
So it has a mini replica of Revan's lightsabers, strategy guide printed just for this edition, a couple character cards, a replica Pazak deck, which I've never played in the game because I hate it. And yeah, then there's a little Switch throwback, original Xbox case, steelbook case. Comes with everything any sort of collector for this game could ever want.
So,
oh, that's really cool. Thank you, man.
You're welcome. I also threw in a display stand. If it was in the picture.
Yeah, it was in there.
Yeah, it's a display stand. So because you already own it digitally, I was like, well, here, you can display it then. I don't know how well the steelbook's gonna fit in there, but you're welcome. It was you have to have that. And I was like, yeah, no. Because I woke up that day and they had a timer on Limited Run website, and I was there sitting at 8:55 in the morning waiting. Okay, 5 minutes left. What did I do for 5 minutes? I don't know. And then I watched it go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and instantly immediately bought it. So had to, because that's a really special thing that you need to have. And I would have been sad. You're I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I'm like,
what
do you mean?
Funny story with that. I was online on the PlayStation talking to Preston a few days ago, and I think it was right after our conversation where you asked if I was gonna get it, and I was just like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe." And I was talking to Preston, and I was like, "I wasn't worried." And he was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "So I was telling him, Knights of the Old Republic on Switch just put out a bunch of collector's editions," and Pat was asking me if I was gonna get it, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe." I was like, you know how he like spoils the hell out of us, like like Christmas and like birthdays and all that. And I was like, kind of worried that he's gonna go and buy me it just because I'm so like on the edge.
It's because I love on the edge. That's bullshit. You have to have it. That's something you have to have. Even like I love like strategy guides and stuff. I have a couple over here, and I don't even read them. But actually, I have one right here. Here's the Skyrim one. It's fucking massive. But it's really cool. Well, yeah, but still. And then, but that's like it's yeah, because you never know. There might be little secrets or little like stat things that can help you make your runs better, so you can understand the game even more. Like that's something I've enjoyed with strategy guides. I got the Kratos one, Jesus, the God of War one. I don't know where it's at, but I have that one too, and I bought that just because it had fan art in it. And I was like, cool, I want to go through those. So right on. So yeah, I mean, it's $15 on Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the deal right there, honestly. You spend what, 30, 40, well, relatively besides the story, but like 30, 40 hours. Except for when like you left it on falling asleep, but
I would say total I would probably clocked in like just under 40 hours.
Yeah, this thing
that was doing like probably 85-90% of the game. And that's just not counting like the dark side pass you can go.
So we're gonna start with an easy nomination category, one that won't really matter till next year, and this is the most personal preference category, and it's the most anticipated game category. So we have Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Starfield. I'm kind of surprised that Starfield's on here, to be honest, because we haven't really seen that much about it. But I guess that's true for the other games. But
I'm a little surprised, but at the same time, I'm not. Just because like the Xbox and Bethesda deal was such a big thing, and Starfield's like their next big IP. So
yeah, no, everyone's been hyped for it because they've been working on the Starfield for years now.
Yeah.
So I definitely get that. It's weird. I don't know. I like to see something before I give it hype. So,
right.
What is your pick for this? I'm gonna vote right now because I know mine.
So for most anticipated game,
yeah,
I would have done God of War Ragnarok, but the only thing that changed that was Horizon Forbidden West being put on the list.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that's my most anticipated game, mostly because God of War, I was never that big into the series. I played about 10 minutes of the first one before my PS3 decided to die, and the disc that I had, which was actually yours, the God of War collection for PS3, got sent off to Sony with my PS3, and I never saw it again.
Yeah.
And after that, the next one I played was the 2018 God of War. And,
you missed all of them then. What the hell? That's crazy. It's fine though, because you don't really need to. I mean, for 18, you could pretty much jump into 18, and you don't really need to know everything. But you just don't get that emotional impact of when he picks up the Blades of Chaos after all that time. It's crazy to think about.
But I mean, for Horizon Forbidden West, I played. The Horizon Zero Dawn. Holy crap, I forgot the name of it for a second.
Mm-hmm.
But that one, I think I saw the reveal trailer and then an early gameplay trailer. I was completely sold on it.
Yeah.
That was the first time that I straight out bought a collector's edition with no hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't even think what fully came with it when I got it.
Yeah.
I was just really sold on the kind of post-apocalyptic humans versus machines kind of mindset, and especially where most of the machines are kind of dinosaur based.
Yeah, which is really cool.
I loved everything about the game, and I was kind of very excited about a sequel, especially since they kind of teased it at the end of the first one.
Right, yeah.
And once they showed that first little gameplay or kind of the first look at Forbidden West,
mm-hmm.
basically right away I saw all the new features that as I was playing through the first one, I was like, man, I really wish they had this, or like, if they had a sequel, they make this better. That's exactly what
they did. Yeah,
so,
they took the feedback back, which is awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that game. I think it drops in February. I think it's like February 22nd or something like that.
That's what the internet's for. Let me look it up for you.
I know it's right after my birthday.
February 18th.
Oh, okay, no, that's right. That one's before. It was the first one that came out after.
Yeah, February 18th, 2022. So that's coming up really quick. Yeah, man. I mean, it looks good. It's probably gonna be good. I'm not a big fan of the first one. I think the first one's a good game, but I wouldn't say it's like wow. But that's just a personal thing. That has nothing to do with like, oh, it's dumb. It's fun to play. It's really fun to play. I end up using the slingshot more than the bow though, because it's just so damn overpowered. My most anticipated game. There's no competition. There's nothing here that gets me more excited than Elden Ring, dude. I'm so excited for Elden Ring. That is gonna be insane. I can't wait for that. I've been staying away from the gameplay stuff. I watched only a little bit of the gameplay release that they did, the reveal, just because I want to go in as dry and dark as possible. That's how I've done it for all the From Software games, all the Dark Souls and Bloodborns and all the Souls games. I always go in blind for them because I get the best experience. I recently played Mortal Shell, which is within that genre, and it's gotten me just more hyped for it. I want to go back and replay them, to be honest, but Mortal Shell, I have the PS5 and PS4 edition, so I might swap to the PS4 edition and just replay it again because it's really fast. It's a really for me. It was a fast platinum. I think I did it in like 15 hours or so, and it was a lot of fun. It was a ton of fun. So the next category is best debut indie game. So for the best debut game created by a new independent studio, I've only seen two of these. Do you have... I mean, I have a clear pick, because there's only really one clear pick here. But I don't know if you have anything, if you played any of these other games.
This one I haven't, but I looked into most of them kind of as I was preparing for this episode. Because, for one thing, like, this year, I guess, was a very slow, like, video game year for me. I didn't really pick up a lot of new titles. But as far as this one for best debut indie, I think out of all of them, I was most like captivated by Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah.
Just because that one, Ember Lab is normally a animation studio where they do like commercials or kind of like contract help for some of like the bigger animation studios, and I think I was just really interested how they just wanted to take on like a video game and see what they can do. I mean, it kind of looks incredible. I've heard it plays a lot like, kind of like the PS2, like platformers and those type of games. Yeah, so I'm very interested in kind of how it's like a very modern take on some of the games that like we grew up playing and loving.
Yeah.
So
no, it's really good. It's really, really good. That's my vote is Kena Bridge of Spirits because it's the only one I really played on the list. There's one indie game that did come out this year that I was like, why didn't this get any love? I don't know why. I'm going to switch my thing over to show it. It's called Blue Fire. It's going to be backwards for you guys. Sorry about that. This is another one. As you can see, I got the platinum for it. I bought this on sale, and it is so much fun. This is like a mix, but this is a lot like Hollow Knight, but in a 3D space, not a 2D space. It's got cryptic storytelling. It's really, really fun. It's engaging. It's, it has, I wouldn't say it has like a Dark Souls-esque type of challenge to it. It's mostly, because I'm pretty sure I died mostly platforming than I did with, like combat. But, so that's a game I want to shout out. It came out this year. It is phenomenal. It's really, really good. I wish it was on this list. I wish it got recognition, but it didn't, and that's okay. It's fine. Kenya got recognition, and that's the most important thing. That is my pick. That game is absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. This one's gonna be a little weird. Next one is best multiplayer. I've only played one of these games. So I have one of them that I was hopefully trying to finish before Friday, but we just couldn't get around to doing it. It's Takes Two. The only one I played is Monster Hunter Rise for best multiplayer. I haven't played Back 4 Blood. I'm not that interested in it. Knockout City looks fun. We got it for free. I haven't tried it. New World looks insane. I think that looks awesome, and I want to try it, but it's also an MMO, and I don't want to sink that much time into an MMO. And then Valheim, I haven't played Valheim. If you're going to ask me, though, just by this list and what I like, I'm going to go with It Takes Two.
Yeah, I gave my vote to that one as well. And out of this list, the only one that I actually did play was Knockout City.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as It Takes Two, I'm a fan of what the game, or what Hazelight Studios leader Joseph Ferris does.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of his games are very like co-op centric, and
have you played A Way Out yet?
Studios. Which one?
A Way Out? Have you played it yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay. We should do that because I have it.
Yeah.
We should definitely do that, actually, because I have that game.
Is that one of the ones where if one person has it and you want
Yeah,
to
it's
play
the
with someone
same.
that doesn't, they're still allowed to play?
Yeah, you just have to download like the free trial for
so,
it.
like, that's a really cool thing that I like what Joseph Ferris and Hazelight does.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're very trying to push, like, kind of bring in, like, couch co-op or kind of just co-op gameplay back. And
yeah,
I'm a big fan of that because kind of as, like, the video game generations have gone on, that's kind of been pushed back now. There's not very many, like, couch co-op or very, like, co-op-centric games.
for sure.
And so I'm excited to see what Hazelight and Joseph Ferris is up to.
For sure. I loved The Way Out. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It ran really good. It's got some Uncharted like combat in it, and it's insane. I wasn't expecting that when I played it with Kirsten, which is awesome. And then I played it with Preston, and he was blown away too. He loved it. So the only bad thing about It Takes Two in those games is you have to play it with someone. And co-op is like really important, but it's also like having the time to do so with our adult lives going on. So Preston has it. I have it downloaded and ready to go. I just have not started it. I was meaning to start it, and hopefully in anticipation of this, but I voted for that just because same reason, the creative director and everything, he does an amazing job in storytelling and really getting to the emotion of the players is like a key thing. A Way Out's awesome. We could definitely play that if you want. I keep telling Preston we should get you and Jose to play it because we've already played it, and that way you guys can experience it on your own and have no bias on it. Because if I would play it, I'd be like, oh, who do you want to play as? It kind of just,
right.
But so It Takes Two. We're gonna get to that eventually. Preston has it, so I know he could do it, but he's such a cool guy. I met him at E3 in 2017 when he was doing A Way Out, when he was doing an interview for A Way Out, and I was standing, I don't know, like 5, 10, 6 feet away, just staring right at him doing this interview. I was like, this is so cool. So, yeah, I think it's an important game. Gotta play it. And when we get to Game of the Year, you'll see it again, so it must be that good. The next one was sport racing, best sport racing game. Funnily enough, there's only one sport game on here, but I went with Riders Republic. Just looks insane. It looks just like insane fun comparative to just all the Hot Wheel one is something I kind of want to try, to be honest, but
Right, cool.
Riders Republic is my vote for that, just because I like when they do something new and different. I appreciate it, and that's like, that reminds me of like those old ATV games I used to play on the PS2 and on GameCube. But
yeah, because I know Ubisoft, as far as their, I guess, sports division or whatever they want to call it, they've been kind of doing a lot of those like extreme sport games. Like they did Steep a couple years ago, which was a little meh.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a lot of like snowboarding and all that stuff, something that I've literally never done, so I didn't have big interest in it. Riders Republic looks cool just because it looks very like out there, and they have like the wingsuits, the bikes, a whole bunch of other stuff. This category, I gave my vote to Forza Horizon 5.
Mm-hmm.
When I think it was like a year ago now, I just decided to pick up Game Pass because I wanted to kind of expand more on like the Xbox games I played. And like when I was a kid, I was very big into like racing games, like especially like Need for Speed. Like me and my brother played a lot of Need for Speed Underground.
Yeah.
I was very big into Need for Speed Most Wanted. But when I had picked up Game Pass, like I was like, I've heard a lot about like the Forza series. When I got my Xbox One S, I picked up Forza 7 as my like kind of first Xbox game to really try because I've heard it's a very good racing series.
Yeah.
But the Forza Horizon series, they kind of do a lot more like open world like kind of gameplay, and so like you literally just get to like drive around and just explore. Horizon 5, I think, is set in Mexico. It looks incredible, and that's one where I want to play it, but I'd rather wait until...
You could just go to Mexico and drive. You'll get the same experience. Yeah. There was a bit that a YouTuber did where this guy, he does like the split personality YouTuber thing, and he has one guy in the car driving, and but he's in the driveway just pretending to drive, and the other guy goes, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm practicing." "Practicing for what?" "Practicing for Forza Horizon." "You could just drive. What do you mean?" And it's just funny because that's all I see it as. I don't get any. I love kart racers. That's my thing. I love kart racers, but I could just go drive my real car if I wanted to experience that. I mean, it looks good. I'm not, it's just not a thing for me. Right. I don't get that, but. No, it looks good though, so they're doing big things. For people that do like that kind of stuff, perfect. I'm glad there's a demographic out there for that, which is really important.
I mean, there was a big discussion online about Horizon 5 being, I guess, snubbed for Game of the Year, but I think it really just came down to the release date, because I think the Game Awards closes their nominations on, I think, November 11th or 12th. And the full release of Horizon 5 was, I think, the 9th.
Yeah.
So I think they were kind of...
Well, that's what happened with Demon Souls.
There wasn't enough time for like critics to get the full experience and all that, but it is what it is, I guess.
Well, that's what happened with Demon Souls, too. Last year.
Yeah.
And it didn't get anything. It didn't show up for anything at all. I'm not too sure what the cutoff date is, but yeah, it's like... I don't know. I don't remember what it was for last year, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So, best family. This one's kind of weird looking at it because these don't feel like family games at all. So, for my vote for this one, there's It Takes Two, there's Mario Party Superstars, Pokemon Snap, Mario 3D World, and WarioWare. I almost wanted to pick WarioWare because that's like an insane game that just came out of nowhere. I know a lot of people were excited for that. I went with Mario Party Superstars. It's Mario Party. Literally can't go wrong with Mario. That's like a family bonding experience right there. Me and my family play Super Mario Party almost every time when I go over. We're probably going to do it on Christmas when I go over. So that's like insane. It Takes Two. That's like between two people, and it's a very personal thing. I don't see it as, Pokemon Snap. Yeah. I feel like that's more like a single player thing. Same thing with Super Mario 3D World. That's more of a single player thing. WarioWare is just a fun time with multiple people. So, but that would be my pick.
Yeah, for this one, I just gave it to It Takes Two for basically the same reasons for the other category that we talked about.
Yeah. Next one's going to be interesting. So the next one is Best Fighting Game. So for the best game designed primarily around head-to-head combat. So
fair combination of games.
Honestly, it's, well, I wouldn't even say that. I would say it's 4 anime games and then Nicktoons Brawl.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, and then you see SpongeBob and Patrick like making memes. So there's Demon Slayer, which I really, really want to play. I might just give in and get it for Black Friday when I go out later for it. If it's available, I might just say, screw it, I'll get it for whatever price it's at. I really want to play it. That's such a cool anime. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. Next one is Guilty Gear Strive. Haven't played it, can't say anything about it. Metally Blood. Melty Blood, I don't know. I haven't played it, can't say. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is Nicktoons Smash Bros. Basically. And then Virtua Fighter 5, haven't played it. I mean, I'm picking the Nickelodeon one.
Yeah, I gave it to that one just because
just buck wild. Just buck wild. Yeah, it's just buck wild. You have to pick that. For sure, have to pick that. I'm probably gonna get that today too. Maybe I haven't decided yet, but so best role playing game. A lot of good games on here, actually. So for best role-playing game, we have Cyberpunk 2077, Monster Hunter Rise, Scarlet Nexus, Shinji Megami Tensei 5, and Tales of Arise. I've played 2 of these games. I own 3 of them. I have Scarlet Nexus right here. I've yet to play it yet. Cyberpunk 2077, just the fact that that's on here tells me that, wow, not a lot of RPGs came out. But at least AAA ones, because that was a dumpster fire. I mean, people still have fun with it, but no, I'm not getting that. Sorry. Scarlet Nexus, I want to try. Monster Hunter Rise is really fun. I really need to put more time into that, though. I've only put, I think, like 10 hours into it. I haven't put that much time at all. Shinji Megami Tensei 5, I kind of want to give it a try, but I don't know. Like, there's just other games I would rather play. My pick is Tales of Arise, easily. That is easily my pick for that.
Oh yeah, this one for best role-playing, the ones that I've played are Cyberpunk 2077 and then Scarlet Nexus. Cyberpunk, it's not ever going to be a great game. The launch was way too horrible I think for it to ever truly recover.
Mm-hmm.
But based off of what I've seen from the launch and then playing it now, it still has some issues. I imagine whenever they finally release, I played maybe an hour, and then I just kind of put it down. And I think I'm just gonna wait until they finally release the PS5 version of the game to really jump back in and play it.
Mm-hmm.
And then other than that, I've played Scarlet Nexus, which is also what my vote went to. I think I'm close to the ending of the first character you can play as, or not really first. You have a choice of 2, and you can go either way right out the gate. But I started playing as the male character, and I forget what his name is. But I mean, it's a really fun anime-style game. I love it. It's there's a lot of interesting character customization with what you can do, and I love a lot of the character dynamics and kind of how much they try to put you in the world while also playing as a full fleshed out character.
This is your first Bandai-esque game, isn't it?
I think so. I think Bandai does the Dragon Ball Z games, but I haven't played those.
Well, that's like a. But yeah, that's a known. That's a license, yeah.
The original Bandai game. This is my first, as far as I know.
Okay. There's a lot out there. I am excited to give it a go. I'm kind of just waiting till I have a little more free time. It'll be better when I go on leave, but I want to get through some stuff. I think my next one is gonna be Deathloop. I want to get to Biomutant as well, because I got that for Black Friday as well.
I want to get to eventually.
So. But yeah, Tales of Arise is. We'll get to that later. So best action adventure game. For the best action adventure game, combine combat with traversal and puzzle solving. So there's a lot of great games on here. A lot of great games. There's Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. So if we're just accounting for gameplay, for running around, the action, the puzzle solving, my vote is Resident Evil Village, because it plays really, really well. Not including the story. Not including the story.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. But Resident Evil 8 is really fun to play. I love that they force you to, they play condition you to play the game in different ways depending on which part of the game you're in, and I really like that it's got a lot of backtracking. So you're like, oh, I can't open this door yet. Oh, I have the key now. I found it. I can go open the door and get the reward. And there's a lot of like subtle like world puzzling going on where you're not just given an item and saying, oh, here's the item. It's like, oh, you need this code, you need to read this letter. They make you do everything, and I really, really like that. Part of me kind of wanted to give it to Guardians, but the puzzle solving is not that great because it's like the same 3 puzzles, and I don't really mess with that. Rift Apart doesn't really have a lot of puzzle solving, but it's a lot of fun to play. Part of me wanted to give it a Metroid Dead because it just looks insane, but I haven't played it. But I did play Resident Evil 8, and I love Resident Evil 8, for the most part at least.
Yeah, this one, I wanted to give it to Ratchet and Clank just because I felt I had a little bit more fun playing Ratchet and Clank, but ultimately I gave it to Resident Evil Village just for the kind of same reasons you gave, is it felt a little bit more action adventure, because Ratchet and Clank was very like linear. It was pretty much like, not necessarily that they gave you everything you need right off the bat. You still had to find like some items or whatever to progress a little bit, but as far as gameplay wise, Resident Evil Village was a lot more, I guess, action adventure, because you really had to like adventure around and try to find like keys or little like padlock codes or whatever. One of the ones that I felt really dumb for not figuring out really quick was when you get the 1911 pistol, where you like had to like kind of like look at one part of like the wall and then out the window to get like the rest of the combination that hits you with the jump scare. Yeah. Like, I really appreciate a lot of the things they did where you like had to find like files or whatever to be able to get certain things.
The game is damn near perfect. I was like, this is it. This is the game of the year. Easy. Yeah. Then the story fell on its face.
And as far as Resident Evil Village, like for the first person change that came with 7, I wasn't very big on at first, just because it was so different for Resident Evil, and I liked Resident Evil 7, but Resident Evil Village I just felt was a lot better overall. Yeah. And at least a lot more like interesting to me, and like I really now appreciate the formula that they're starting to take that franchise in.
I much prefer it personally. I think it feels like original RE, where it's not just action, it's very survivor horror.
A lot more of like the serious like horror rather than 6'2", 400-pound muscle man punching a boulder.
Right, and it's just, those games are just really just for the action. They weren't really for the suspense or the scare or anything. I love when it's a horror game. I want to like be terrified to like, I need to preserve my ammo. I need to, especially I like playing them on the harder difficulties because you're limited to everything you get. So I would pick for that. If we're talking just gameplay alone, that is one of the best games to come out this year for sure. Best action game. So for the best game in the action focused genre, primarily on combat, I already know my vote and I'm ecstatic. So there's Back 4 Blood, Chivalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6, and Returnal. So I have 3 of these games. I've only played a little bit of one. I can already tell which one I'm going to enjoy the most, just on personal preference. My pick, Chivalry 2. I love medieval combat. I love sword to sword combat. It is so much fun. It's fun. If you get it, we'll play together. It's a lot of fun. I've only played a little bit though. It's awesome. I might play some more later, to be honest, but it's just a fun, chill time. I really like it. When I think of like good combat, and it's a multiplayer game too, so there's a lot of it with that. Like, I'm probably the 1% of people that actually likes For Honor still, and this is like, it reminds me of that, but this is like more grounded, and I really like that. It's a lot of fun. It's really cool. That would be my pick for best action game, because I'm not really big on sci-fi or shooting. I rather use a sword than a gun personally, but that's just me.
Yeah, so for this one, if I did play Chivalry 2, I probably would have gave my vote to it, but out of all of these, I've only played one game so far, and that one is Returnal, which my vote went to. And that one I just gave it to just because it's a very different game for Housemarque. And I was just really interested in kind of like the world and atmosphere of Returnal. It's a very cool like story for me. Just like it has like that sci-fi, like you play as like kind of this astronaut who gets who like crash lands on this like planet, and she's all alone, and you kind of just have to like figure out how to get off. And the story intertwines with like that need of like trying to figuring out where you are and how to get off, and it also kind of deals a lot with the character Celine, kind of like her mental state, and a lot of things like from her past kind of comes up in the story. And I'm not that far into it. I think I'm in the second biome.
I haven't even started it, so you're farther than I am.
Yeah, and it's
that's gonna be a game where I just play it, I beat it, and then I put it away. I'm not gonna try and get the platinum for it.
Like I like a lot of like the gameplay systems to it. Like there's these things called parasites where they're kind of like little like alien things that you can pick up that attach to your suit. And there's some that either give you a like good like benefit for like gameplay and all that, and then there's some that will kind of give you like a very like negative thing that you have to deal with. Or there's some where they give you a really good benefit, but also like kind of like a negative effect, and kind of gives you that. You have to sit there and decide, like, well, I mean, do I want to take the pro and kind of just deal with the con as I go, or are they both like good, like things to consider as we're going?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I really like that game. It's fun to play.
I'll jump into it eventually. I haven't had really the time, but yeah, after that's gonna be, I'm gonna download it, play it, finish it. When I beat it once, that's it. I'm done. I don't see myself wanting to play. There's just too much, based on my research. There's too much RNG that is not gonna be. I'm not gonna want to put up with.
That is.
So next one is innovation by accessibility. This one's kind of tricky. I'm not too sure which one I want to go for. Recognizing software or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. Part of me wants to vote for Ratchet and Clank, but by that description, it's only for PS5 players. So even PS4 players can't even play it. So, but as far as like the technology of gaming, it did a lot for it. It did a lot of crazy things that was really good. I haven't played The Veil. It's only on PC, so I haven't really gotten the chance to do so. I just finished Guardians of the Galaxy, like I said earlier. I'm gonna kind of do a curveball here, and I'm gonna vote for Guardians of the Galaxy, just because I feel like it has something that everyone can enjoy, especially with this character work and story. But I mean, for gameplay, we'll talk about that later. But for this type of thing, I would vote for Guardians. It's only on, it's on almost everything. You can play it on Switch, you can play on PlayStation, you can play it on PS4, PS5, Xbox. You can play it on everything. But yeah,
this one I don't really have much to say. Ratchet and Clank was cool for like the Rift aspect of the game, and how that really like changed how a lot of games that like I've played and how they work. Like how with like the Rifts, you can jump into one, it either takes you to like a complete different like world or like a different environment. How you can literally just walk back and forth with like no loading screen or anything.
Right.
That one was really cool. Ultimately, I gave my vote to Forza just because of kind of my past experience with the series, and I imagine they continued it in Forza Horizon 5. Because in Horizon 4 and then Forza 7, they kind of try to build it to be like a very serious like racing game, but they also like allow like say if like you're not good at like driving like in video games and all, and oftentimes you're dealing with like a lot of like very fast cars and all that. They kind of help players, like you can like make like the racing a little bit easier, so there's not so much like you could just get left in the dust.
Yeah.
Like there's like kind of like little turning paths that you can follow where they show you like, oh, like there's a turn coming up, so start like making it to the inside of the lane, that way you can, or start going to the outside and cut to the inside.
Yeah.
And they can make that easier, or you could just completely take that off to drive however you want. It's something that I just like appreciate with those games, because a lot of the times they kind of just expect people to like just be very like good racing game like drivers and all that, while Forza kind of like really opens it up to any other player.
Yeah.
And I just want to shout out one category nomination that we just skipped over, which was the best VR AR. Neither of us, I don't think, have much experience with that.
No.
But there's just one. So the nominations for this one were Hitman 3, I Expect You to Die 2, Lone Echo 2, Resident Evil 4, and Sniper Elite VR. This one, I just wanted to kind of shout out the Resident Evil 4 VR. When I saw it, I thought it was the silliest thing I've ever seen. Resident Evil 4 is like one of my all-time favorite games, and as soon as they announced it, I was like, there's no way that's going to work in VR. But
and it does. It's silly. It's fun.
Yeah, no, it looks really fun.
That's what I voted for.
It'll open a lot for what VR can do in the future.
Yeah, I don't know. I mainly skipped it because I knew neither of us played VR, so we didn't have like any real like toe dip into that realm. Mm-hmm. So I don't think we could fairly say anything. The only reason I picked Resident Evil 4 because it's Resident Evil 4. That's the only hype factor behind it. That's the only thing that gives it any weight, is like, oh, it's Resident Evil 4 but in VR, which is really cool. But I don't know. I think that it's just not for me. That's just something that I don't have any experience with VR, so I can't really stand there and say, oh yeah, it's good for this, and this. So, and I didn't think, I just think it's just a cool concept. But so the next one is easy for me. It's best community support. We have Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. It's Final Fantasy 14. The community support for that game is insane. I don't see anyone talking about Apex Legends anymore. I don't see anyone talking about Destiny 2 anymore. Fortnite, I mean, come on, we're over it. And then No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky was a close second for me because the community that really stayed behind it really built it back up. They really built it back up and hyped it up for everyone to replay it because they changed so much and fixed everything. I think that's really cool. But Final Fantasy 14, there's no that's the best one. That's all I ever see on my timeline.
I gave it to that one just because of basically the journey that game went through. I think when it originally launched, it was awful.
Yeah.
And I think they fully took the game down and basically rebuilt it from the ground up.
Yeah.
And that's especially for an MMO, nobody does that. If a game launches and it's horrible, then it's just, oh well, throw it in the trash, move on.
Yeah.
But just for the fact that Square Enix and the team behind it really just started from scratch and built it up, and now it's one of the biggest MMOs. It's starting to pull players from World of Warcraft and a lot of the other ones. That's very hard for an MMO to do.
Right, for sure. And
for Destiny 2, I just thought it was cool where they made a free version of the game to kind of really open it up to more people. But
right.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 14 for sure. The community support is insane. I mean, especially with the backstory for the creator, it's insane. What Square Enix does for its consumers. Next one is best mobile game. I don't really play mobile games, but out of these, there's Genshin Impact, League of Legends, Marvel Future Revolution, and Pokemon Unite, and something called Fantasian. I don't know. I haven't heard of it. I've heard of the other ones, and they all look good. I gave my vote to Pokemon Unite because that is just something everyone of all ages can enjoy, and it looks like it's a lot of fun. It's just more Pokemon. Everyone loves Pokemon. And I think that, especially with Pokemon Go and how well that went, I I fully, and seeing how much the community loves that, I'm cool with that. That's cool. I'll give it to that.
So I gave my vote to Marvel Future Revolution. I've played it a little bit, and it's a really cool, like, not necessarily open world, but like there's just like kind of like sandbox areas that you can run around.
Mm-hmm.
And basically how it works is it's kind of set like an alternate like universe kind of thing where there's two Earths like about to like collide with each other.
Right.
And like obviously all like the big like Marvel heroes all band together and like, oh, we have to figure out a way to fix this. And so you have a choice of playing as like a Captain America, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Black Widow, and I forgot who the other one is. Oh, it's Star-Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that one just came out like I think earlier this year around like summer or something like that. And it's like a really cool, it's like, so you pick like whatever one of those characters you want to play as, but they give you, I think like it's like 4 or 5 like little save character slots or whatever, so you can just flip back and forth between them.
Yeah.
And like it's a really cool game because like you can kind of just build like your character's like outfit, kind of mix like a whole bunch of looks based on like some of their more like traditional like comic looks or some like the like suits or whatever that come like with like the game universe. And I mean it's just a really fun game to play. I was trying to load it up real quick so I can just show a little example of it, but it is taking incredibly long right now.
It's alright.
But
I'm just not big on, if I'm gonna play video games, I'd rather just play on my console or my PC.
Like dedicated.
Yeah, not on my phone. The only one I ever dedicated real actual years into was Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, but that's obviously for obvious reasons. Because you kind of had to.
Yeah, especially if you're a fan of that series.
Just the story though, everything's like canon in that so if you want the full story, you have to play through that or at least watch the stuff. So, but it was fun to play through it. Next one is Best Indie. This one has a lot of great picks.
Yeah.
I really wish Blue Fire was on there. It is what it is. I'm having kind of a torn perspective on this. Part of me really wants to vote for 12 Minutes because it's awesome. I watched the playthrough of it. It's awesome, and I wish it was on PlayStation or on Switch or something else. You know, it looks insane. It looks fun, and I just love the direction with it. Obviously, the voice acting is insane.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
James McAvoy, Daisy Ridley, and I think Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, that's all 3 of those. They do an excellent job. Death's Door, I actually have that in my cart. So I haven't played it, but I want to. So I don't think I can vote for that, but that's something I took a note of. And then, of course, there's Kenya, Bridge of Spirits. Those are really the only 3 I'm torn between. Loop Hero is a card dungeon crawler, and I just didn't play it. Encryption.
Same thing for
no.
Inscription.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's like some type of card game. I don't know. It's not. It didn't. You know. Please play Blue Fire. It's so good. I'm kind of torn. Like Kenya was great. I think realistically, I have to give it to Kenya because that's the only one I played, and I really liked it. I think for Kenya was like an 8 out of 10 when I finished it. Then I played on. Because you have to beat the game to get the hardest difficulty. After I beat on the hardest difficulty, I was like, this is a 9. It's so much better on the harder difficulty. It's so much better. I loved it a lot.
Yeah, I haven't played any of these, but like 12 Minutes, Death's Door, Inscription, and Kana, I've heard a lot of really great things.
Yeah.
I know 12 Minutes had kind of a lot of people said it's good, a lot of people said other things about it. But ultimately, my vote went to Kana, mostly just because out of all of those, that's the one I'm like most excited to really play.
It just doesn't really feel like an indie game is the thing. Like it feels like it's not AAA, but it doesn't feel like an indie game. It's crazy because it's really good. It's really, really good. That was one I bought day it dropped. I pre-ordered it. I got like the soundtrack and the digital art book and stuff like that. So it's really good. If you get a chance, it's incredible. It's incredible. I don't know if it's on sale, but it's coming out with the physical release, so it's going to go cheaper and cheaper soon.
I think the physical release is out. I think it came out on the 19th.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Next one is best ongoing. I'm gonna be quick with this one. I'm voting for Final Fantasy 14 again.
For best ongoing, same thing.
Yeah, it's easy. That's an easy one. I mean, Genshin Impact's cool. Warzone, I don't know if they really had any besides like the Twitch community and people streaming it. I don't think there's really anything. Same with Fortnite and Apex Legends.
Best thing about Warzone, honestly, is that it's its own thing, but it also ties to like the other big like Call of Duty game that's out. So that one started with I think it was Modern Warfare, the reboot Modern Warfare, and then once Black Ops Cold War came out, they changed up the map and like kind of gave Warzone a backing story that ties into like the characters from Black Ops Cold War, and then now that Vanguard is out, they're completely changing the map and everything to like a Pacific island where it's like more just World War II like centered and everything. So that's cool, but same thing like I said earlier for Final Fantasy 14, they've done a lot to that game, and the fact that it's starting to pull players from other big MMOs says a lot.
Yeah, for sure. So that's what I would say for best ongoing, but games for Impact, I only have one for this one. It's Life is Strange True Colors. There's no I haven't played the other one, so I can't really say, but just based on what I know, what I've seen and watched, it's something special that does something better for the Life is Strange series.
The changes that they're doing with True Colors, it looks really interesting. I might get to it eventually. I played the first one, I skipped the second one, but once they showed off True Colors, me and Preston were kind of going back and forth about it. We're both really interested in it.
Well, Preston's gonna wait till it's cheap anyway, so no, he's gonna wait till it's cheap because that's who he is. That's how he likes to get his games. He's not gonna get it right away. He's gonna wait till it's. But no, it looks really good. I love the concept and the powers in it. I think, and there's, like I said, I watched gameplay and I watched someone play through it, and it just looks. For that for Impact, it looks really good. It looks like it's going to be really important. Next one is Best Performance. I don't know if I have an opinion on this one.
I gave my vote to Giancarlo Esposito just because I love him as an actor. He's one of my favorite ones, and he's honestly the main reason I even want to play Far Cry 6. Far Cry 5 completely burned me out on that series. The story was freaking silly.
I just didn't like it in general. I didn't even get that far in it. I was like, yeah, I'll play it. And I played it for maybe 2 hours. I said, this is not good. I'm over it.
Yeah, I like the setting, how it was finally a Far Cry game set in the U.S. and had a lot of that, like, kind of religious backing to the story because you're dealing with, like, a religious cult.
Right, yeah.
But the twist at the end, I full on started laughing. You're probably never going to finish Far Cry 5, huh?
Probably not.
Because, like, do you mind if I spoil the ending for 5?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so apparently throughout the game you can hear, like, radio messages of, like, possible, like, nuclear bombs going off or being dropped or something, but the entire time I played it, and I probably put, like, a good 50, 60 hours into it, I not once ever got that story detail. And so I got to the end, it's like, alright, I finally, like, defeated the cult, and I have the leader, like, in custody. And then you just see a huge, like, nuclear explosion behind everybody, and I was just like, what? And it's like, the guy gets away and everything. I'm like, that just ruined the entire game for me. That's a horrible ending. But once they announced Far Cry 6 with Giancarlo in, like, the villain role, I was like, well, I want to play that one now.
So a nuke goes off and the bad guy wins, basically?
Pretty much, yeah.
Dude, that's sick as shit. What do you mean?
Well, the thing is, it was just a completely random thing, and, like, a lot of people were pissed over it. Like, the developers came out like, oh, well, we hinted to it throughout the story, and everybody was just like, when? And it's like, well, you had to hear a radio message that plays in, like, one place. And it's like, so it's a completely, like, missable detail that happens at the end. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. I'm voting for Erika Mori for Alex Chen in Life is Strange True Colors. Just because, based on what I've seen for a performance, that game is meant to be a performance type title.
Right.
I'm not big on Far Cry anymore. Knowing how Far Cry is, the villain's not even in it that much, so I can only imagine. Jason Kelly and in Deathloop, I part of me wanted to give it to him, but I haven't really played it, so I can't really say much about it. But I'm gonna give it to the girl that did Life is Strange: True Colors. Next one's best audio design.
I gotta grab my headset charger real quick.
Okay. So best audio design, I don't particularly have a opinion about this one. I think there's Deathloop, Forza Horizon 5, Ratchet and Clank, Returnal, and Resident Evil Village. I don't really even know about. I don't remember the audio design for Village. I mean, part of me wants to just vote for that, to be honest. I remember some of it, but I mean, I think I feel like Horizon 5 has a good in-game audio and sound design because it's just a racing game. So I haven't played Deathloop yet. Ratchet and Clank it was alright. It wasn't insane.
Yeah,
it sounded like how it was supposed to.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it just sounded like the Ratchet and Clank just sounded like how it was supposed to. Honestly, I'm just gonna vote for Village. This one, I'm not particularly. I don't really care about this one, as far as like, the winner of this one. It could go to any of them.
Yeah, I gave my vote to Resident Evil Village just because out of the three that I played, which were Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil, and Returnal.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank, it sounded like a Ratchet and Clank game. There was
right.
nothing real special about it. Same thing with Returnal, as far as I remember. I mean, like, the monsters that you fight sound cool. All of the guns, like, sound cool. But ultimately, as far as, like, the best in-game audio and sound design, it's Resident Evil by far, because you can be, like, walking through the village and, like, you'll just hear, like, the, like, growls or screams or whatever of, like, the werewolf people.
Yeah.
Or, like, you'll be in some buildings and
doors will creak and, there's a lot of cool things, like, it because there's no real music, there's no real, like, sound going on. Yeah, so you kind of have to, like,
the game is very silent. You'll hear, like, random footsteps, can't figure out where they're coming from. Like, it was just a very, like, the sound alone kind of brings in a lot of suspense because you're just wandering through a village alone, like, you're just hearing all these sounds, and kind of freaks you out if you don't know where they're coming from.
You'll hear, like, the wind blow and, like, the chains moving back and forth. It's really cool. And then there's a lot of cool things with that. So that would be my pick for sure. Best score and music. So there's Artful Escape, Cyberpunk 2077. I'm surprised that's on here, to be honest, but I don't know what the thing is. Then there's Deathloop, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Nier Replicant. I haven't played Nier Replicant. I have it. I'm picking. It's Guardians of the Galaxy though. That's literally what that's what it's based on, is the music, which is insane. It's really good. I thought you were going to hear more of the licensed music as you play. You don't actually. They have like a regular score, original score, which is cool.
I think they
when you do
not really made one, but there's like a kind of like band or whatever that they kind of put together specifically for the game.
There is, but that's story stuff, so I can't really.
Yeah. I think the most about that is just all of like the licensed stuff that they use. How it's like a lot of like the big like 80s hits and whatever. The only one of the few actual gameplay clips that I've seen was the Rick Astley "Never Gonna Give You Up" inclusion that they put in, just because it was just so funny in the context that I saw him, just how random it is.
Yeah, I didn't get that song, but I will say when you do, so there's like the huddle which powers up all the heroes, which is kind of cool because basically the characters will huddle around you and they'll talk to Peter, and they give you like words behind the characters, like fading in the background, and gives you two options. If you pick the wrong options, only Peter gets powered up. If you pick the right option, then they all get a power up and a boost up. So you can mess it up if you're not paying attention. But I've done it, oh my god, multiple times, and I've not gone a repeat song, which is really cool, which I really appreciate. It was something new, but otherwise you don't hear those songs unless you do the huddle up thing. They don't play the music. So when you do the huddle up, he'll press the button on his track player, and then the music starts playing, and it could be literally any song. It's really cool. So outside of the licensed stuff, it's not even really that present. When you're inside the ship, you can play music too, but you can't hear it, which is weird. Which I'm not too sure why, but because I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool, like walking around, looking at all this stuff you collect, talking to all the characters. But
I wonder if that's like some kind of like audio glitch or something.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense how in the ship you can play music, but it doesn't play.
Well, maybe just couldn't hear it. I don't know. But I mean, it's great. The original,
only one certain part of it, maybe, but it's like their ship isn't that big.
Yeah, the track is just really cool for that. I like it a lot. Next one is best art direction. So for outstanding creative or technical achievement in artistic design and animation, there's only one choice again. Realistically, there's Artful Escape, Deathloop, Kenya, Bridge of Spirits, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. For me, it's between Kenya and Rift Apart. I went with Kenya easily. Yeah. I mean, that's what the studio's made for.
Yeah, I went with Kena just because it's a debut game and it looks incredible. Like
it does.
Literally told Preston, I was like, "This is literally Pixar the game. Like it looks fantastic."
Yeah, easily. I mean,
and it's like Ratchet and Clank. It was cool because. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, it's a lot of like just like the power and the benefits of like next gen, like with the PS5, like
right.
Just being able to see like the literal like individual hairs on Ratchet and Rivet, like that was really cool. But then again, we're gonna see that with everything now.
Right. That's not entirely new. You're right.
Yeah.
But that would be my pick. I think it's really cool. I think it's just fun.
Yeah, I think Kena being... I think it's PS4 as well. I don't...
It is, yes.
Yeah, and I imagine it probably looks more or less the same on both ends, and...
Probably. I don't know if I have that, if it comes... The one I got came with both, but... Oh, it does, so yeah, I have it for both. PS4 and... The only thing is you can't auto-pop the trophy, so I'll have to do everything all over again, and I don't know if I want to go back and do it all, but... Right. It was really cool. It's really nice. All the different areas you go to that they didn't show off in the trailers and whatnot. All the different monsters and little like Furby creatures you get with the rots. Really cool.
Furby creatures.
So the next one is best narrative. And before we started this episode, I didn't play any of these, so I couldn't like put anything in. I do have a vote because I actually did finish it. But we have Deathloop, It Takes Two, Life is Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Psychonauts 2. My pick is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So, obviously, I can't really talk about it too much. I'll be quick. The story saves the game for me, personally. The gameplay is very repetitive. Again, I much prefer, like, hand-to-hand sword combat. I found myself doing the melee combat more than shooting, and... it's not viable. It's something you just can't do because Peter's not built for that type of combat. And I mean, once you get certain abilities and skills for the Guardians, you kind of just repeatedly mash the same ones, and it just gets repetitive. And it's fun when you start out when you don't have I was like, oh, this is great because I don't have a lot of like options because I was playing on the harder difficulty. I don't have a lot of options. I have to like really plan out my stuff. Towards the end of the game, it's like, man, I'll just keep spamming all these abilities and that's it, and it got, dulling for me, but the story saves it. It's insanely well done. It's more accurate to the comics, I would say, especially with Peter's origin, and there's a lot of cool surprises that happen without like overstuffing it, Like if you know about the comics and you know about the movies, you'll be fine because they don't really explain anything. They just throw you right in and say, here's the group all together. It doesn't show how they met up. It doesn't show any of that. It just shows that they're just a team and they're fairly new. It's really, really good. I was genuinely surprised. The best part is the character work because each character has a moment where they get a moment to really shine and stand out and overcome their own personal like grievances and stuff, and it's really good. I wish it was on Games for Impact because I feel like everyone can relate to it and get on board with it and empathize with these alien creatures. I mean, these alien people, you know. But that would be my pick.
Yeah, I gave my vote to Guardians of the Galaxy as well, just because it was really just out of my excitement for the game. I was going to give it to It Takes Two, because what I've heard, kind of like the overall structure of the story is, like, I think, like, both characters either are or were, like, in a relationship together, and the whole story is, like, them kind of just trying to go through, like, these challenges together and, like, kind of just rekindling, like, their relationship to each other. And
I think it's like they're a married couple and their marriage is falling apart, so they have to go through this trial.
It's something like that. Like I saw it, kind of like what I've heard and seen of it. I was like, it's probably like a very like touching story to play and like a very like good narrative for a lot of people. But at the end of the day, I'm a big fan of the Guardians, so I think out of either of those stories, I'd probably be more like excited for the story of Guardians of the Galaxy rather than It Takes Two.
The story saves the game. I was like, man, this is kind of like a 7 out of 10, maybe. No, it's an 8. It's pretty damn good. The gameplay just kind of gets repetitive. The puzzle solving gets repetitive. I mean, the outfits are really cool though, and they're free. You just have to find them. So,
yeah, that's a big thing for that.
A lot of cool designs for sure.
Honestly, for Guardians, as soon as I get Peter's Nova Corps suit, I'm probably just going to roll with that one. I've always loved that look for him.
I just think I stuck with the original because I just appreciate that they have a lot more original designs than anything, honestly, which I was kind of surprised with. But
the original look is really cool.
Well, they have like different original costumes they made just for this game, more than they have like comic book based ones. That's what surprised me a little bit. I was like, oh, I thought they were going to use more. I mean, there's a lot of costumes, though, but they made a lot of themselves, and I thought that was interesting.
And I think they included, like, some MCU ones, but...
They did. They just did the 2014 movie. That's it. Which, I used the 2014 Peter Quill suit just because I think it looks nice. It's simple. Whereas the one they made has way too much going on, personally. But I feel like I had to play with their suit because I mostly just ran with what they made. Just because I wanted to experience it the way they intended the game to be experienced with their art design.
Right.
But it's really cool. Best Game Direction. Awarded for Outstanding Creative Vision and Innovation in Game Direction Design. There's Deathloop, It Takes Two, Returnal, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I'm kind of torn on this one. I'm not going to give it a Deathloop because it just feels like it's just Dishonored but with machine guns. It Takes Two reminds me of like A Way Out and Sackboy put together, so I don't know if that's huge innovation, but I kind of want to pick that one. Ratchet and Clank, I mean, the real thing is just like the rifts jumping through dimensions.
That's the most different thing about that game.
Yeah, Returnal is something. I think I might give this to Returnal, actually.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it to Returnal.
To Returnal just because Housemarque has never made a game like it.
Yeah.
They did more of like the 2D kind of like arcade style games.
Yeah.
They had to go out of their way do a 3D third-person roguelike shooter. It's like that's.
Well, also like the concept of like Death 2. The concept of like Death 2 in it, because when you die, the world like is affected by it.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool.
And, like. You start off in one central room that doesn't change, but as soon as you go through the first set of doors, it'll be a completely different layout of like whatever biome you're in. So that was just really cool, like how they just basically went completely out of their way to do like a brand new like formula and style of game for them.
We're at the last one already. Game of the Year. Recognizing the game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. We have Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. You know, I know this year for gaming kind of was low, but what the hell? Just looking at this list. I mean, some of these games definitely deserve it. Like, I can imagine Deathloop does deserve it. Metroid Dread definitely does deserve it. Part of me wants to vote for that one just so Nintendo can get some recognition. And I know that's like the first Metroid game in years. So
yeah.
I've only played 2 of these games. I own 4 of them. I was hoping to get through more of them before we did this, but it is what it is. What would you vote for here? I don't know what I would vote for. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on these. Like, this is the first year where I'm like, oh, has to be this one. This one I'm like, I don't care which one wins.
Yeah, most years I'm usually like torn because I normally had played most of them, if not all of like the games that were nominated. But this year I only played 2 of them. That was Resident Evil and Ratchet and Clank. And ultimately I gave my vote to Ratchet and Clank, just because those games were like really big for me growing up. I played a lot of like the PS2 ones.
Yeah.
And I think, was there ever one on PS3? I don't remember.
There was a bunch on PS3.
Okay. But as far as like PS3, I kind of like got out of the series. Like they weren't that big to me. And I mean, Resident Evil Village, like we said, the gameplay aspect of it is incredible. I loved every bit of it. The story was not great.
Yeah, it was just really the ending, the big reveal about
twist at the end. As soon as they revealed it, I just started laughing, and I was like, "That just killed the entire story. That's stupid."
Yeah, it's a
Ratchet
little.
And Clank, I just really enjoyed like the kind of aspect of like Ratchet and Clank dealing with finding another like Wombax, which was basically Ratchet's whole goal throughout the series, is just trying to find like more of his kind, and then basically dealing like with his like alternate like reality version of himself, technically, sort of, but kind of just like the story and like dynamics that Ratchet and Clank go through together, and then Rivet and Kit. Like it was just very like endearing story, and like the twist between Rivet and Kit, and how she finds out that Kit was like the warbot that
took her arm,
and they still ended up realizing that they need each other, and that kind of like Rivet's like changing her outlook on who Kit is, like basically as a person without the game. Like I loved all of it.
Yeah.
And so it was, as soon as this list came out, like my immediate was like, okay, Ratchet and Clank is my game of the year.
Based on this list,
I wouldn't be surprised if Metroid gets it, just because fans of that series have been wanting like a new Metroid for a long time.
I really want to just give it a Metroid just to throw away my vote, but
and I think Metroid's like a little bit more of like return to form for the series.
It is, yeah, it is. I really want to play it. It looks really good because I love playing the Metroid games. Have you played any of them? Oh, okay. I played a lot of them, and it looks like how it used to. It just looks cleaner, and I want to play it. I just haven't had, I don't know.
It was the Metroid series I was always interested in, but I mean, I was never a big Nintendo person. Like, I only really played like the Pokemon games and all that. And
I kind of want to give it to Metroid Dread just because.
I might get to Metroid Dread, but who knows?
Yeah, I kind of want to jump into Metroid Dread. I kind of want to give it to that, to be honest. But I'm also wanting to be as subjective as possible too. Or what game did I enjoy out of this list the most? And I've only played 2 of them here. And it's between Ratchet and Clank and Resident Evil Village. Between these 2, I enjoyed Resident Evil Village significantly more, personally. With all the extra content it had, the little bonus levels and missions you can do, they were so much fun. They were challenging, they were fun, they were exciting, and I loved it. Now I feel like I need to get the Deathloop because I feel like that's the only one that could beat it, but I don't know if it would. Resident Evil Village was so much fun, doing the multiple playthroughs, getting the platinum trophy, doing the challenge mini games were just so much fun, and just playing the game. Because that's the thing I'm not really even considering story here. I'm considering like what was just fun to play. What did I enjoy so much that I sunk a lot of hours into it when I probably didn't even need to. That would be Resident Evil Village. Because as soon as I got, for Ratchet and Clank, as soon as I got the platinum, I stopped. But I didn't do any of the arenas except for the story ones. I didn't collect all the things. I didn't do all the side stuff because I just didn't. It just felt like busy work. Whereas for Resident Evil, it felt like a real fulfilling challenge, and I really appreciate that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Resident Evil Village. Realistically, I hope Metroid Dread wins. But if I'm gonna be honest with a vote on the stuff I played, it's Village. But it's not my game of the year, personally. That's just out of this list. So, which is unfortunate, but I get it. It is what it is.
I know if I could add a game to this.
Yes, that was going to be the next question, actually. Well, not even take one out. Just what would your game of the year be?
I'm waiting to see like the final product of it, but one that I'm kind of excited for is to see when the Halo Infinite campaign drops out. I've been a big Halo fan for years, and Halo Infinite looks like it's going to be a completely new thing to the series.
Yeah.
They surprise released the multiplayer on the 15th, and
right.
I mean, the game so far, like on a visual standpoint, looks absolutely incredible. I know there's a lot of, I guess, not really controversy, but a lot of the people are kind of not big on how the progression works through the multiplayer. Like, I guess it takes a long while to actually get through it. But seeing from what we've been able to see and what I've heard of the campaign, it sounds like it's going to be a very big thing for not only the Halo series, but for Xbox in general. Honestly, in the past 2 months or so and going into next year, I think it's going to be a very big year for Microsoft and Xbox.
We'll see.
I'm excited for it, depending on how the campaign comes out. That, although I probably won't play it, and just based on what I see of it, that might change my idea on Game of the Year. But of course, the campaign releases in December, so it's way too late for it to be even nominated. So,
if it comes out I'm saying for you personally. So if it comes out this year, then technically it could be your Game of the Year still. But we'll see. I mean, I could play it on PC, so I could easily get on PC, which I might actually just to hop on the bandwagon because I have it.
I'd be able to play it on PC too, but I honestly think my PC is too old to be able to effectively run it. So that's one of the big things where I kind of want to get, even just like the Series S, the digital one.
Yeah.
Just pick that up and try to play it.
What else is coming out on Xbox that makes it worth getting?
What else is coming out?
Besides Starfield, the big ones, and Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, Starfield and then
Elder Scrolls, of course.
Other than the Bethesda games, really.
Which, I mean, you can play those on PC, though, right?
Yeah, but as far as just to Xbox...
There's also Fable, but we don't know. There's no release date for that yet.
Yeah.
But you assume... Well, what I'm getting at is you could play these on PC, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I would say probably just Halo, honestly. And then depending on what they're doing with the Gears of War franchise, because I think they're still planning on continuing it, so...
So we have Halo, Gears of War, and the Elder Scrolls. The Elder Scrolls 6 is the biggest thing, honestly, in my eyes. That's a big deal.
Easily.
But, I mean, I still have no reason to get the Xbox right now. No reason, except for Elder Scrolls 6. But I'm pretty sure you just play it on PC, so I'm set. I have my PC. I'm good. So, Game of the Year, I mean, I'm not really surprised by the list. My Game of the Year is Tales of Arise. I think it is just an absolute joy. That is the most fun I've had playing. You know, it's really funny because the early this year, a lot of the games just didn't do it for me. I didn't like Outriders. I mean, shit, what else came out early this year? I can't even remember. They were so I don't even remember them. I still haven't played Dark Alliance, but that didn't get a lot of great reviews. We have Virtua Fighter 5, so I guess I can play it. I don't even know what came out. I don't even remember what came out early this year. There wasn't like a ton of stuff that did it for me. I was able just to get through a lot of older games. It wasn't until later when like Tales of Arise came out in September and obviously Guardians of the Galaxy and we have a lot of great stuff, and then Disciplines, Liberation, that was fun for me. And I think that, I don't know, this year was kind of lackluster in my opinion for gaming, which is unfortunate. But Tales of Arise is my favorite this year. It's so much fun. I had a lot of fun with that. I think that realistically, it's a good time. I played a lot more games that came out like last year just to catch up, and I played a lot of indie games, so I can't really.
Yeah.
Do you like Hell? Do you like Hell Let Loose? Did you end up liking that enough?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's obviously nowhere close to being like a game of the year for me, but
Yeah.
like I just really like the more like tactical focus of it. Like if your team doesn't like effectively, because how it works is like there's a full like commander or whatever of like every squad on like the U.S. or Germany team, and then each squad has its own like individual like officer where they're like the commander kind of like sets up orders for the officers, and then the officers have to direct their like squads to do whatever.
Right.
And each like little class that you can play as is a set like loadout and like skills and all that. It's not like Call of Duty or whatever where you can like mix and match guns and perks and all that. It's like so for example, like the U.S. medic, the only guns that you can use are the M1, the M1 carbine, and then a pistol, and that's all you get.
Okay.
And I mean, it's just a really cool, just because it's so different than most shooters that are out now. And there's no like, oh, I shot that guy 5 times and he shot me twice. How did I die? It's like you get shot once or twice, you're done. And that's how it is for everybody. So really, it's like, well, he just put a better shot than I did. Like, oh, I hit him in the leg and he hit me in the chest or head. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was a really cool thing. Plus, I mean, we got it for free on PlayStation, so at least if you had PlayStation Plus when it came out.
Right, yeah.
Honestly, this year was a lot of, like, just catching up on stuff that, like, I bought and just didn't play, or, like, I started and just let it slide due to, like, other games, or just a lot of, like, remakes or ports that were coming out that, like, completely threw me off. Like, a big one was Stubbs the Zombie. I played that game on the original Xbox, and I was completely blown away that anyone would even like, oh, hey, remember that Stubbs Zombie game? Yeah, let's bring that back.
Right, yeah. No, it's definitely a wild card, for sure.
Yeah, same thing with, like, Star Wars Republic Commando. That was a really big one. I was on, like, I found out the other day that it had a Platinum Trophy, and I was honestly going to download it today and start playing and work on that. And so it's, a lot of this year was just a lot of just catching up on things.
This wasn't a ton of stuff that I like thoroughly enjoyed. Like, I'm trying to think of like all the stuff I played was from like last year, the previous years. I mean,
going through a list of like all just the stuff that came out this year, and
I mean, Skyrim Anniversary Edition came out.
Yeah, honestly,
love that.
I think my personal game of the year probably is Ratchet and Clank. Just because, like, it reminded me so much of why I love that series and those characters, so... And just kind of getting to see them in, like, a whole new, like, look and, like, world and all that. It was a fun thing to do.
Maybe I will try Hell Let Loose, because when I watched gameplay for it, it just looked like it was just another shooter. But maybe I'll give it a try then. But yeah, a lot of my games that I have now are just... something I have to catch up on. I mean, I look at this, I'm like, oh, this came... No, it didn't. I need to play the Dark Alliance Dungeons and Dragons game eventually, just so I can have an opinion on it, because I don't right now. I've not heard good things about the game, unfortunately, but it is what it is. So, okay. Is there any other game that is not in a different category? I shouldn't have closed it. I should have keep it open, but that came out. The only thing, again, I've talked about it before, it's Blue Fire. People, if you have the chance, play that. It's so much fun. That's one of my favorite games to come out this year. That's like top 5 for me. I still think Tales of Rise is better, but like, it's really good. I had so much fun with it. A lot of cryptic storytelling, a lot of exploration. I mean,
There's another category. Not really, because I mean, like I said, this year wasn't like a big new game year for me. So,
is there a game you wish you would have played before the Game Awards came up?
Really, my big one was Guardians, but I didn't really plan on buying that. That one was kind of like, oh well, that might be a Christmas present, might not. Who knows? And
I'm sure you'll get it.
Yeah, just how this year went as far as like all the delays and everything. Like obviously, developers had no control over that. COVID screwed a lot of things up.
Right.
But
for sure. Not even just for games, but movies too. I don't know. I think
wait, Godfall came out this year?
I don't think so. I know it got the PS4 release because it released on PS5 and then they added it to the PS4 cycle so you can play on PS4.
Yeah, that's what I just looked at and it threw me off.
Godfall's a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. I thought I was not gonna enjoy it, but I loved it. I might get it. I might re-download it just to play the new expansion that they added for free and all the extra content. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad Tales of Arise got some type of recognition. Like, I'm glad it's there, but I really wish it would have, I wish people would have gotten more on board with it. I think it's as far as fun and entertaining, it did exactly what it was supposed to do for me. It's a lot of fun. I don't know. I think that there's a lot of games that just didn't get. It's crazy how much stuff comes out that doesn't get a lot of love. Like Blue Fire didn't get really any love, and I found it just because it was on sale. And I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll try it." And I ended up loving the hell out of it. It's so much fun. It's a blast.
Oh no, that wasn't a debut for them. Never mind.
Oh yeah, Fort Triumphs is on sale again, so go ahead and grab that too while you're at it, people. It's really good.
Right.
It's another insanely good game. Lost in Random, absolutely.
Yeah, I think if I had played that one, that probably would have been it would be a close kind of consideration between Kena and Lost in Random.
Mm-hmm.
Just because from what I've seen from Lost in Random, that game just looks really cool. That's one that I'm hoping to get to soon.
Yeah, I might buy it soon, to be honest. I really want to play it.
Yeah, other than that, this year was just a lot of
it's not on sale. Oh well, but it's $30. I might just
coming out on one platform and then getting moved to other ones, or because this release list from Game Informer I'm looking at, it's a lot of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order PS5. I've seen Hell Let Loose for the third time now.
Yeah.
I think that was a PC release and then the PlayStation release. I think next year is definitely going to be a huge year because that's when a lot of stuff that was supposed to come out February and March are going to be packed months.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's probably when a lot of the Game of the Year contenders are going to drop.
Nothing's going to compare to Elden Ring. I can already guarantee it. That's going to definitely be Game of the Year.
Elden Ring is January, right?
I think so. No, it got pushed.
Or did that end up in February?
I think, let me see.
Oh, February 25th.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think February. So that's going to be huge. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I love that people are already saying that's Game of the Year. It's Game of the Year. I'm not surprised. It's made by an insane, series. Anything Miyazaki touches is gold. He's like the Midas touch. Everything is just perfect. It's golden. He literally has never made a bad game ever. And then you have George R. R. Martin on there too with the writing to make up the story and the world. which is already getting. He already has like an insane mindset on that kind of stuff. So that's gonna be great.
Right.
It looks insane. It looks really fun. I really haven't seen or watched much except for the trailers. I didn't watch a lot of the gameplay reveal because I just want to go in blind. They still haven't done the premium collector's edition, so I'm waiting for that to whenever that opens. But I think that yeah,
Elden Ring is definitely going to be a big thing. Like, I mean, I'm not big on the Dark Souls games. I've tried them. I struggle a lot with them, but like just watching that network test that they did, I'm really excited for that game. It looks like it's going to be really fun to play.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it will be. Yeah, it's still not available. Maybe it will be like easier because I feel like I don't know. I guess it comes with experience though, because I played all of them and I platinum all of them and I mastered all of them. So they're kind of just like Mortal Shell. I can't imagine you or Jose or Preston playing that honestly, because you can't even get through Dark Souls. But and it's not really even hard. But and that game forces you to, for one of the trophies, you have to beat it without getting hit, and that's insane for that type of game. So you have to play like damn near perfect. But I love that kind of challenge, and it was a lot of fun.
I mean, if the D-Labs December leak is true, I'll probably give Mortal Shell a try just because I'm literally not spending anything on it.
Right.
And so it's, if I don't like it, it's just, oh well, I got it for free, so.
Right. It just sucks because I have all those games already. I have Mortal Shell, got the platinum for it. I have Godfall, got the platinum for it. The only one I haven't started is the DC Villains, but I have that. I own it. I'm pretty sure I own it. I bought it on sale. Yeah, it's right here. I have it. So I just don't. I have all the Lego games actually. I need to start those. But
my biggest interest for that leak is probably Godfall, just because I wanted to try it. And then I'll be able to get back to Lego DC Super Villains because I actually had a lot of fun with that game.
Mm-hmm. Godfall's great. I love Godfall. I loved it a lot more than I thought I was going to. Not even gonna lie. I thought this was just gonna be just a whatever experience, but okay. Any other questions or comments or anything for the Game Awards? Anything you're excited to see?
I mean, I think the actual like award list is kind of just example of just COVID wrecking the video game industry for this year. Mm-hmm. But I think out of the award show itself, I think I'm just more excited for all the reveals and stuff that Jeff Keighley has lined up, because usually he has like a lot of like the huge like game reveals.
Right, yeah.
And I'm kind of just more excited to see what's going to be revealed and showed off, and if we get looks at anything else that's been previously revealed, but it's like, hey, we're making this, okay, bye. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm just more excited to see what like the developers and studios are bringing to show off.
Yeah.
But most of the awards, I honestly couldn't care less.
I just want Tales to win. That's all. Just let it win Best RPG. I'll be sad if it doesn't. Everything else is kind of like, it's fine. Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know. It's just a weird year for gaming, for sure. But, because I think I bought almost every major title that came out this year. On PlayStation, at least for PlayStation, so I just haven't gone around to playing them. I'm gonna hopefully finish Guardians by tomorrow, like get the platinum and all that. It should only take me a couple hours. I don't have that much left to do. But I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of cool things. I'm excited for the reveals. I think that 2022 is gonna look awesome for gaming. Again, the only thing is like Elden Ring's Elden Ring. Like, there's nothing that's gonna compare to that for me. That's gonna be my favorite thing that comes out.
I'm pretty sure 2022 is gonna like rival the release schedule of 2018, because 2018 was a freaking massive year for video games, and I think the first literal 4 months of 22 is gonna basically be the end of 18. So
yeah,
because I know for 2018 we were basically like freaking out over every little game that was released, and so
yeah, there's something that was
be a huge year.
No, there was something for everyone. 2018 had a lot of great stuff. I'm looking at it right now.
Yes.
Soul Calibur 6, yeah, I got that. Ashen, I didn't play Ashen in 2018, but I played it. I played it this year and I loved it. So good. Shout out to Tomb Raider. Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom. I didn't play that in 2018, but I loved it. A Way Out, yeah. Obviously Smash Bros. Ultimate, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, World, God of War, Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of insane stuff coming out. It was almost too much, to be honest. But, you know, I mean, 2019 delivered with Sekiro. Sekiro was definitely like, yeah, that's it. And then obviously Kingdom Hearts 3, which is like my favorite game that year. But, oh yeah, here's Death's Door. I might just buy this right now, to be honest, just so I can play it, and try it out.
God of War next year, or is that 23?
That's next year.
Oh, okay.
2023 should be the next Spider-Man. I'm gonna add this in my cart. I might buy that. Whoa, I have a lot of games in my cart. Okay. Right on, cool. And there's no particular game besides Guardians you would want to play in Lost in Random. That's all. Just those two.
No, those two and then Kena. I think those were the big ones that I really wanted to.
King is great. King is great. I loved Kenya. I wish Disciples Liberation got more love, but I understand why I didn't. That's for a very selective group of people to enjoy. That's not just for anyone to jump and enjoy.
I gotta check the date, but there might be another game I want to talk about real quick.
Go
I
for
don't
it.
remember if it came out this year.
Oh, we have extra time. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Intergrade.
Oh.
I haven't done that.
Oh wait, no, that was 2020. Never mind.
Oh, Aria Secret of the Season. I think that came out. Did that come out this year? Let's see. I bought it. I want to see. No, released in 2020. See, I don't even know.
Yeah, never mind. That was December 2020.
And then of course, like the new Call of Duty. I'm not gonna get that.
Yeah.
I'm over
Call
it.
of Duty's just sports games. It's get it every few years for some sort of update that they actually decide to do.
We get a new one every year. It's essentially a sports game for sure, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
I loved Cold War, but that was just because that's a direct sequel to Black Ops, which is my favorite Call of Duty game still. So that was like a given. But after I got the platinum, same thing. I was done. I was over it. My sister was like, "What the hell? Why'd you get?" Not gonna play it. I'm done. I'm over it. Sorry. I don't know. I'm excited for Sifu. That looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. That looks like it's right up my alley.
I actually forgot about that one.
I kind of want to get Cheryl Blight, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Chernobylite?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'd almost pick that up because I think it's on.
It's on sale, yeah.
Not a big sale, but.
Well, I almost bought it when it released, and I said, I might just buy this on Amazon because it was on Amazon already, but I decided, I'll skip on it. I kind of want to get Green Hell. That looks like a lot of fun. That released this year. This looks like a lot of fun too. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff. Tales of Iron, I kind of want to try. I'm just not big into 2D games, but it looks like it's something I would really, really enjoy. I don't know. There's a lot. I've been finding myself enjoying more indie games than anything, but if that's it, if you don't have any other questions or comments, then I think we're all set then, Game Awards comes out, December 9th?
Yeah.
I'm going to watch that live. What day is December 9th on?
I think it's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday. I work Thursday. That sucks. So it depends on when I get off. I kind of want to stream it, but it just depends on when I get off. What time does it start?
I think
Probably
4:30?
Yeah, something like that. Something dumb. I'm pretty sure, it starts at 5 PST.
Oh, okay.
Close enough. So, I'll just have to start early that day so I can get off. So I can watch it and not have to just listen to it like I have for everything else because of work. But so that's exciting. Lots of cool stuff coming. We'll jump back on and probably talk more about it later when it comes out. But if that's it, then I think we're all set. If you don't have any other comments or anything.
I don't really have anything else.
Right. Well, thank you all so much for joining in and tuning in. This has, again, been a very fun side passion project for the both of us to do. This has been RP Gamers. Thanks for stopping by, and have a great rest of your day.
See you guys.